Welcome to Truth About Relationship and Marriage, where we say it as it is. Absolutely no taboo topic with us. Sex or coitus is the penetration of an erected penis into a woman's vagina. Sex is sweet, most especially if your husband or your partner takes you to orgasm. There is a feeling of enjoyment, of sweetness, and fulfillment that comes along with it. Sex is not for everyone, right? Sex is just for married couples. That is why we'll be looking at the reasons why you do not want to have sex before you marry. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into the reasons why you may not want to have sex. You do not want to have sex before marriage. Reason number one, sex is a covenant. Sex is a covenant of intimacy, togetherness, and oneness. Biologically, there is an exchange of fluids and even blood during sexual intercourse. This unites your souls together, what we call soul ties. Sex is saying that I am one with you. We are one flesh. We are together. I share in your blessings as well as I share in your curses. Now, if this is what sex really means, with how many persons would you be one flesh with before marriage? Now, let's look at it this way. Have you asked yourself why things you've not been struggling with, you didn't used to struggle with, you've now started struggling with? Have you asked yourself why strange things have started happening to you after you've had sex, probably with someone? That's because in every sexual intercourse, you are sharing a part of yourself with the person, as well as the person is sharing a part of herself or himself with you. Or rather, let's look at it this way. Have you asked yourself why it's difficult to say no to someone you slept with? Why it's despite the fact that you make decisions to stop sleeping with the person, but you keep sleeping with them? This takes us to the second reason. Sex creates addiction. Sex comes with the fulfillment and the sweetness, especially when your partner takes you to orgasm. It creates an addiction. Yeah, addiction is a word. The desire to always want to have sex. Funny enough, to want to have sex, most often with the same person you had sex with. You want to relive the experience you had with that person. Okay, now, have you asked yourself why you find yourself going back to a sexual relationship, even though you've gotten to the understanding that the person is not the right person for you? Maybe the person treats you badly, the person treats you like trash, but you keep sleeping with the person. You remain in the relationship. Have you asked yourself why? Because sex creates that bond and it also creates some addiction. Now, the third reason. The third reason is having sex before marriage comes along with a degree of low self-esteem and shame. Have you ever asked yourself why you have the tendency of going to that guy's house when it's almost evening? Or why he has to put your shoes inside when you come to close the door? Or in case you slept over, you want to leave very early in the morning before the neighbors wake up? Why are you hiding? Why don't you want to be seen publicly that you slept at his home? Or why does he not want that others know that there's a woman in his room? That's why he puts your shoes inside. Sex comes along with a degree of shame, with some degree of low self-esteem. Okay, let's look at it this way. How would you feel when you go to a guy's house and the guy is maybe probably about to marry you, and you realize that you've slept with one of his friends, or maybe some of his friends, or probably even his brother. You didn't know. Yeah, you didn't know. How would you feel? Shame? Like you shouldn't have done it? Same thing for the man, right? Even if you're a boss, once a woman has seen your nakedness and your emptiness, and the boundary of respect has been crossed, there's some disrespect that comes along with it. She finds it easy to talk to you anyhow. So sex comes along with some degree of shame, disrespect, and low self-esteem. Reason number 4, disease and pregnancy. Having unprotected sex, you stand the chance of contracting sexually transmissible diseases. Okay, let me ask you, with how many of your boyfriends or your girlfriends do you go to the hospital to test for HIV, to test for chlamydia, to test for syphilis, gonorrhea, and all other sexually transmissible diseases before you engage into sexual activity? Probably none, right? Or if you've done it with one person, do you do it systematically with the other persons you have intercourse with? Surely not. So having unprotected sex, you stand the chance of contracting sexually transmissible diseases such as chlamydia, syphilis, herpes, HIV. And some of these diseases are resistant to treatment. They are difficult to treat. And some of them, if not well treated, might lead to infertility. How does it sound to you then? That you become infertile before you marry? It doesn't sound good, does it? Okay, let's take the case of pregnancy. Having unprotected sex, you might get pregnant. Even if the guy is ready to take care of the baby, the question is, are you ready for the physical, mental, emotional, financial transformation pregnancy brings to your life? Sometimes you see some young girls or some women who have gotten pregnant and had babies and have become completely different persons from the kind of girl they used to be before. They are no longer as beautiful as they used to be. They are no longer as jovial and lively as they used to be. Oh, you might be thinking she didn't take good care of herself. Probably that could be true, as well as it could just be that pregnancy changed her. It completely transformed her. Pregnancy comes along with a body transformation. Sometimes for some ladies, body deformation, yeah. The stretch marks on your stomach and on your breast. And in case you end up not marrying the person who impregnated you, it comes along with some low self-esteem. Women can bear witness with this, right? If he's not there, if he decides to deny the pregnancy, are you able to take care of yourself and the baby alone? Now, you may say you abort the pregnancy. Okay, fine. Do you know that people die in the process of abortion? Oh, you don't know that women die too in the process of giving birth, do you? So, are you ready to take that risk with your health and with your body? Men may think that they are exempted from these reasons. From this reason number 4. Of course, what if the woman leaves the baby with you? Are you ready to take care of the child alone? Or you probably send the child to your mother's place. Is that what you dream for your unborn children? Is there no guilt that will rest on your conscience in case you abandon her? So you should be asking yourself all these questions. Am I ready for this? Reason number 5. This will be the last one. He or she may not marry you. Are you sleeping with him because you think that he will be your husband, he will marry you? Or you think that with time he will pop the question? No, having sex with a man is not a guarantee that he will marry you. Sometimes he might have wished to make you his wife, but once sex comes into the picture, he begins to wonder how many more persons you're giving yourself to before him. So if you want to have sex, but don't have sex with the reason that the man you're sleeping with will marry you. No, sex doesn't keep the man. Every other woman can have sex. Yeah, that's funny, right? Every other woman can have sex. So giving him sex doesn't make you special. Have you even asked yourself why your marriage plans are delaying? Why he's wasting time to make proper commitments? Of course, you're giving him wifey duties that he hasn't paid for. I mean, paid your bride price, that he hasn't made proper commitments to. Worst of it is that during courting, during dating, once sex comes into the picture, it stops the questioning. It blinds you from seeing the red flags. It prevents you from asking the right questions. It prevents you from getting the right information. The interaction, the discussion comes to an end. And you may find yourself marrying someone you would not have married in case you stood aloof. So sex blinds you from making a proper choice. Once sex comes into the picture, interrogation stops. Have you asked yourself why a man beats his girlfriend and she continues to stay there? They already stayed together. Yeah, they are cohabiting together and probably they already have children. But she still stays there despite the fact that the man treats her like trash. Giving him sex does not guarantee that he will marry you. Hope you learned something from this video. And I hope before you have sex, you ask yourself, am I ready for all these 5 reasons? Probably once your answer is no, you will abstain from having sex before marriage. See you in our next video. Bye bye.